Did you know that the first computer dates back to Adam and Eve? It was an apple, but with extremely limited memory, just one byte, and everything crashed. Now that's a light-hearted way to introduce our topic for today, the ethical dilemmas in science and technology. From artificial intelligence to genetic editing, there's a lot of controversy brewing behind those lab doors. So buckle up, folks. It's going to be a thrilling ride through the labyrinth of ethics and innovation. But moving on from apples and snakes, let's bite into something a bit more controversial. You know, artificial intelligence is like a toddler with a bazooka. It might be fun to watch, but you wouldn't want to be in its path. Now, I'm not saying that AI is going to blow us up. What I'm saying is it's powerful, it's unpredictable, and it's still learning. It's like Einstein and a 3-year-old rolled into one. It can solve complex equations in a nanosecond, but doesn't know not to put a metal spoon in the microwave. Artificial intelligence, or AI, as it's fondly known, has the potential to revolutionize our world. It can make our lives more efficient, more accurate, and less tedious. Imagine never having to do your laundry again, or having a car that drives itself while you catch up on your favorite podcasts, or even having a robot to do your taxes. Sounds dreamy, right? But like any good sci-fi movie, there's a flip side to this shiny, chrome-plated coin. For starters, what happens when AI starts replacing jobs? I mean, sure, none of us like doing our taxes, but what about the accountants? And let's not forget about privacy. With AI learning and adapting from our behaviors, it's like having a nosy neighbor who's always peeking through your curtains. And then there's the question of control. Who's controlling the AI? Is it us, or are they controlling us? It's like having a pet tiger. It's all fun and games until it realizes it's stronger than you. So, what's the solution? Do we embrace the future and all its chrome-plated, algorithm-driven glory? Or do we run for the hills and live like the Amish? Well, the answer isn't as binary as it seems. The key is to find a balance, a way to harness the power of AI without letting it run rampant. So, are we heading towards a utopia of endless leisure time? Or a dystopia where machines rule us all? Well, as long as the machines keep making coffee, I'm in. On to our next ethical pickle, genetic editing. It's like Photoshop for genes. We could erase those pesky hereditary diseases or accidentally create a race of super-intelligent hamsters. Now, imagine a world where diseases like Huntington's, cystic fibrosis and sickle cell could be wiped out before birth. Sounds like a dream come true, right? That's the promise genetic editing holds. But just like any powerful tool, it comes with its own set of complications and controversies. Picture this. A couple walks into a clinic and says, "We'd like a baby girl about 5'6", intelligent with green eyes, a love for classical music, and a knack for trigonometry." Sounds absurd, doesn't it? But with genetic editing, that's not as far-fetched as it may seem. This is the concept of designer babies. While it may seem like a boon for parents who want to give their child the best start in life, it also opens up a Pandora's box of ethical dilemmas. What happens when everyone starts selecting for the same traits? Would we end up with a cookie-cutter society where everyone looks the same, thinks the same, and has the same talents? And what about the implications for human evolution? If we keep meddling with our genes, are we putting a halt to natural selection? Also, let's not forget the potential for misuse. What if these genetic modifications find their way into the wrong hands? We could end up with a dystopian future, where genetically modified super soldiers are the norm and ordinary humans are the underclass. On a lighter note, we could also end up with those super-intelligent hamsters we mentioned earlier. Imagine a world where hamsters are solving complex mathematical equations and discussing the works of Shakespeare, while we humans struggle to figure out our taxes. So, the question isn't just about whether we can edit genes, but whether we should. It's not an easy question to answer, especially when the stakes are so high. So as we stand on the precipice of this new era, we must ask ourselves, are we playing God or just playing God's video game? Well, we've certainly bite D off more than we can chew today. We've laughed at science, tangled with AI, and spliced genes like a DIY kit. All this tech talk reminds us of the critical need to weigh our actions against their ethical implications. It's a bit like trying to install an update on a decades-old computer, tricky but necessary. Remember, in the world of science and technology, the only constant is change and the occasional system crash. Until next time, keep your software updated and your ethics in check.